welcome. Today I want to take a look at the RGBlink Mini MX. It is a powerhouse. It comes with quad 4K HDMI input, also quad 3G SDI, has a built-in audio mixer, PTZ controller, program out, multi-view out, and very important for me, it has luckily XLR inputs for audio. Hey, my name is Jockey and I've brought a few cameras to the table. I want to connect them to the RGBlink Mini MX and see how it handles all the different cameras and what the pros and cons from my perspective. We have the BirdDog P200, the Panasonic BGH1 with a motor zoom, a security camera, and finally the OBSBot Mate camera. Let's connect the cameras via HDMI, SDI, network, USB to the mixer and have a look. I have connected two cameras via HDMI, one via SDI and the bonus via USB. After the pure connection of the cams, I checked the PTZ or zoom functionality, whatever the cam had to offer. So let's have a look. You have to configure it for HDMI. This is the Panasonic IP address, but I can't control anything. Sorry, can't control it. IP address is correct. Port is what I use on the BirdDog. Panasonic has a different CGI. I guess it's just simply not supported. Okay, switching over to input 2, the security camera. It runs on Pelco IP address, and this is not a PTZ, but it should be able to zoom, and zoom is not working. And on the third one, this is the BirdDog. Here we have configured IP and the port. And this one we can control speed, is controlled here. So if movement is too fast, you can do, and zoom is working as well. So you can zoom in, zoom out as well. So that's the only camera I can control. And we focused on the video. The mixer also has a big audio page, so let's connect something and check the audio side. Okay, so now I connected a boundary microphone to input 1, switched on the phantom power. That's a hardware switch there. And you can see here on the microphone levels that it's picking up the audio. If I use the fader, I can control the audio. If you click on it, you see the audio page, and you don't hear it. So I've connected to the speakers here as well, so the speaker output, which is controlled with this fader. you see there's some meter, and I can turn the input, turn down input 1. So now you see the meter of the microphone, but it's just not going to the output. It's not routed, and even if I go into it, advanced settings, I can't see any routing. And one thing I would like to see is if I engage something, I get a reflection here. So now this looks a little bit like disabled everything. If I enable it, I would like to see some visual feedback. Hey, this function is currently on. Hopefully one of the next releases. Yeah, you can increase sensitivity, and yeah, but I don't hear it on the speaker. What I hear on the speaker is the camera. So if I unmute the camera and you hear there's a feedback immediately, and with these inputs I don't get any advanced features, so it's just the 3, the microphone and the line in, and yeah, that's it for advanced features. So everything has to, what comes through HDMI has to be obviously processed in before the camera or in the camera itself, and the camera signal is routed to the output. Then we have some noise effects here on the side. You can call with the buttons. Yeah, nice stuff. If you want to do a little bit in your show, you can use it. To be honest, I haven't read the menu, which I should have done. I tried to approach the mixer very intuitively, and a few things worked, a few things didn't. At the very end, I found out how to connect the USB webcam, which I want to show you now. So, interestingly, I managed to get the hotspot camera to work, and what I found out is, and it took a while for the camera to go to setup, you can, in the input, instead of input 5 is the media, you can choose between NDI, UVC and media, and once you connect the webcam and select to UVC, you get the webcam, but I have not found a way. There's nowhere. If you hear me now, if I increase it, it's picking up, and of course there's feedback, but if I mute everything, all the inputs, you still, the UVC camera is picking up audio. So I have no idea where the audio is coming from. Everything is muted, and there's still the audio from the webcam. And I leave the camera one muted. And here there's nothing to control input 5, nothing to control audio for input 5 in the media. There's Bluetooth. Maybe this is the line in. This is Bluetooth. the 4 cameras and the outputs, but nothing to control. Let's go to the advanced features of the mixer, some compositories, picture-in-picture and stuff. And here I was just clicking and trying to achieve what I wanted, which I did. But here I highly recommend read the manual, which I didn't. It is very rich functionality that comes with all the stuff, but I just touched the very basics to just play with it a little bit and get a rough feeling for it. But you need to check the manual, or you have to have somebody to give you a quick introduction. Otherwise, you are more or less trial and error on that one. Okay, if you want to create something like a layered shot, picture-in-picture, whatever you like it, you can switch on the background, layer A, layer B, a logo, overlay. So let's go with layer A. I've positioned layer A a little bit. You can add layer 2, layer B, and if you need fine-tuning here, you can just position and change the size. You can also use the pen tilt, so quite flexible. Add the background, and you got a nice picture-in-picture. Let's check the advanced features, and there's a ton of them. They range from layouts, views, chroma key, resolution, portrait, landscape, and I just can scratch the surface here. Okay, let's have a look at the other menu. We have transition effects. Don't want to go into very obvious. Pity that. This is where you have to set the IP address and everything else, so you could control your camera. We have chroma key. I set a checkerboard, and you can go through blue, green, or yellowish, and you can obviously control the detail. We have the outputs. We could choose the multi-view, its test pattern, multi-view output. You can also check on the program, or on the output port. You can go from program feeds, so connected small monitor, to multi-view, even on the program. Takes a bit, but now you have basically what you saw on this initial screen. So you see the multi-view or test pattern. If I switch to test pattern, but on the program you don't see the program. Obvious. You could change. Stream. So you could type in your RTMP destination and stream there. You could use the USB as UVC output for recording or mobile net connection. So if you want to tether your internet from the mobile. And NDI, you could choose the bitrate, the dot size, and the compression format. If you want to go with H.264 or H.265, but it has to be enabled, which I guess it is, but This comes with a tile cloud. I haven't done this. So yeah, that's from the output menu. Layouts. You can create different layout types. I want to go into views as well, so you can create something, save it as a view so you can recall quite easily. Audio, we had a look already. And in the settings, you can see very important maybe the firmware. Firmware is 1.0.0-109-4.17. On the inputs, you could change the input. So in one is HDMI 1. If you want to use, let's say, HDMI 4 on input 3, you can't. So it's just either HDMI or SDI, but 3 on 3, and so on and so on. Finally, let me summarize this flexible powerhouse mixer. I was very surprised about the feature set. It ranged from portrait, landscape, different resolutions. Generally, the entire I/O, you have all the Pro connectors you need, HDMI, SDI, XLR. This is in even outputs, HDMI outputs for multi-view and program. So this tiny unit, so much I/O, so rich. You have the PTZ controller. You don't need an extra device. In quotes, if the camera is supported or can be controlled, you have the buttons. You can use it for podcasting. You can play some audio jingles like laughter or clap or whatever. But also a few things that could be improved. One is PoE support. So if you have network, work with a switch, maybe it could be possible to power this unit via PoE. The UVC input, there was no audio control, so but I guess this is more or less just a firmware update. For me, it was not intuitive. I had to try a lot and make myself familiar with the unit. But okay, new devices may be normal, but not that 100% that I was used to. Then the unit, you maybe heard it in the audio, it has a fan that is audible. There's also fan settings, but I don't want it to overheat the unit, so the fan is audible. If you need a very quiet environment, and you have to go to the settings, but be careful not to overheat it. And one thing I've found very strange is usually on the mixer you have a cut button, so you can cut between the cameras. The only way I figured out was by long pressing on the touch screen. I hope there was some way to use the buttons to cut between the cams. I couldn't figure it out. Maybe there's. Don't want to blame here anything, but for me, from the intuitive perspective of functionality, I wished it was more intuitive and a little bit more lean to professional mixers you have on the market. So you enjoyed it, and see you next time.